But the hype will be brought by our 16-year-old man from France. We often call him the best 3-gate robo player on the planet, but that doesn't really matter here, because this is not PvP. Mixu against Arrogfire should be very competitive between these two. Arrogfire has the better record historically, but Mixu won their most recent encounter. And obviously it's going to be fun to see Arrogfire finally be a 16-year-old, finally old enough to play in the ESL Masters. Not quite the same as when Reynor turned 16, because I think Reynor was incredibly good when he turned 16. But Arrogfire is damn good, and I hope we get to see a lot more of him in these upcoming months, and I think this is a good way to start off. Hi Roddy, the Discord link in About Me section does not work anymore. How to follow your channel? What about !Discord? Bam! And you're in, mate. Easy peasy. But thanks for letting me know. I'll fix that later. There is a nice Reddit thread with some good analysis of the IEM results. IEM as in Katowice? Or do you mean the most recent ESL Masters? Because IEM, that's a long time ago. We are trying to get our first game going. Indy is ready. Mixu is ready. Arrogfire is loading in, but he's not quite ready yet. Hello, Saito. Happy weekend to you as well. I'm very excited for this weekend, by the way, guys. As you guys know, I'm a big F1 fan, so we got F1 to look forward to. I'm looking forward to the Indianapolis 500 as well. I'm gonna go full American. I'll put on one of my baseball jerseys. Get some Bud Lights in here. Eat some hot dogs. It's gonna be big. It's a multi-year analysis of results. Do I think about Bulgaria the way it thinks about you? I have a hard time believing that Bulgaria thinks about me. So, I guess the answer to that question is no, man. Bud Light is not American. It feels American to me. Otherwise, we'll go with some Miller Lite. I don't think they sell them here. Alright, the nerds are ready. I'm ready. It's going to be a great weekend, but let's hope we have 2 more amazing best of 5. So far, the best of 5s have not been bad, but I'm looking forward to the bangers. I want to see a nail-biter of a 20-plus minute game. Let's hope that these nerds can give it to us. Obviously, it's been a fun Friday so far with the WTL. Another victory for Basilisk. That was nice. But now we are looking forward to some epic Friday night StarCraft. Our second to last best of 5. $125 on the line for this one. 100 for the winner, 25 for the loser.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight!
In the bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of the man who recently joined Berserker Esports as well. He has made an appearance or 2 for them in the WTL Codes so far. He is hailing from Finland. Not quite the great Jonas Sotala, but he's great in his own way. This is Mixu. Have you ever had some red stripe, Roddy? No, I have no idea what that means. In the top left side, we are looking at the main base of the young man from France who turned 16 2 days ago. And we decided to give him a happy birthday by letting him play in the Big Brain Bouts immediately. I am sure that he can't wait to attend some of the StarCraft 2 events he wasn't able to attend in the past because of his age. One of the best youngsters in the European scene, an amazing PvP player, but he should be damn good in PvZ as well. This is Arrogfire. Jamaican beer? No, never heard of it. Never heard of it, never tried. I also never had the chance to go to Jamaica. I'd love to one day. Lose a couple kilograms, then lay on the beach. That seems like a fun time. Hopefully we can make that happen. Gain all... exactly, Jack D. Lose a couple and gain them all back in the same holiday. I do believe that that is the play, though. You're betting on Mixu and cheering for Arrow? I wouldn't say that I'm cheering for either player. I just hope that we have a fun, competitive best of 5. I like both of these guys a lot. They're always polite. They're always eager. I feel like just 2 young, sweet kids that like to play Love StarCraft. Mixu definitely the one with more experience. Has also traveled already to a couple of big offline events. For Arrogfire is probably one of the kids that's not even thinking that much about Stormgate. He just wants to make the very best of StarCraft, but he had to wait for a long time. Basically, in the early years of StarCraft, it didn't really matter how old you were. But at one point, I think starting with the WCS seasons, Blizzard said you have to be 16, and then when WCS became EPT, you still had to be 16. to compete and participate in a lot of these events. Unfortunately for Arrogfire, he was already good enough to compete, I think by the time he was 13 or 14, but just had very few events to play in. Now has a little more to look forward to. It would be cool if Basilisk was onside had Crank versus Roddy. I don't think I want to play against Crank. I think Crank is probably still pretty good. But maybe there is a small chance. I will obviously discuss it, guys, with my team members. But if either Serral, Reynor, or Trigger wants to take a week off against Invictus Gaming, I'd like to play. I will do my absolute best to get as ready as possible. I think it would be pretty hype to at least play one time in the regular season of WTL Codex. I think against the guys of Invictus Gaming, I have a chance. I'm not the favorite, but I do think I have a solid chance. It really depends what version of me shows up. You never know with me, guys. There are days where I look like Lino, and there are days where I look like Goblin. It's all in the air. We have a very standard opening here for Arrogfire. He's going one gate fast spent into the Stargate Oracle. That Oracle is used to get a grand high ground vision to the Stalker, and we just kind of take it from there. I have seen way more of Arrogfire, obviously, in PvP, and even in PvT to some regard than his PvZ. But I do think his PvZ is quite good. I remember casting a best of 3 against him, or from him, not too long ago, and I was like, damn, Kiddo is good. Getting more and more complete. So maybe Arrogfire is a minor favorite here, but I feel like Mixu often surprises us as well, especially if the stakes are high and he knows a lot of people are watching and you give him a couple of days in advance a heads up that he needs to play. Mixu can be damn good. Arrogfire here a little bit sloppy if you ask me with the first 2 oracles. Just flies headfirst into 3 queens. It's not quite what I would suggest you guys to do with your oracles. Does keep him alive, that's obviously the most important thing here, but it's a lot of damage for not a whole lot of economic damage on the side of Mixu. Yeah, I've done alright, slight talent, but it's just, with me you never know, guys. You guys have all seen Forrest Gump, I hope. If you didn't, go ahead and stop this broadcast right now and watch Forrest Gump for me. Life is like a box of chocolates, and that's kind of what I am with my StarCraft 2 performance. You just never know what you're gonna get. Some days I'm 6k plus, some days I'm diamond. Now I do hope that once we play in WTL Codex that the good version of me shows up. As Arrogfire, by the way, guys, is playing a little bit similar to the way that ShoWTime likes to approach his PvZs. Well, ShoWTime doesn't lose oracles like that, I'll tell you guys that much. But he has dropped a very quick Robo with a very quick Robo Bay and a much later Twilight Council. This should be a little bit better against some of the Queen Roach Ravager attacks that Zerg players like to do. But obviously also means that you're going to have a harder time pushing back the creep. Because your Stalkers are not going to be right on the edge of creep even before Blink is done. And I think it's also weak against Mudas. As Wayne did manage to get a victory over ShoWTime with Spire play. This is kind of PvZ as we know and love it at the moment, as Mixu feels that this was a good fight to take with his links. Safe to say that he was wrong, as he didn't really get anything there. Hello? Okay. Felt like that Oracle was wasting some energy there for a split second. Double hallucinated Phoenix Scout goes into the main base and then dives into the natural. I think this is to see if there is a Spire that he has to worry about, but Arrogfire sees a Baning Nest. It has to be a little bit scary for him that he doesn't see a whole lot of units. Other than a couple of links, he kind of hasn't seen anything. And it does make you very concerned as a Protoss that there could be a Spire. And that the Zerg is sitting on a whole bunch of resources. Roddy is a box of chocolates. I am one big chocolate, mate. I've ate so much chocolate over the last few months that I became a big chocolate. Not even a box. I'm just a chunky brownie. One of those Milka brownies you can get in a pack. Very good, actually. Overseer Scout of Mixu. This kind of sees, I think, what he is expecting to see here. This is a Changeling. Mixu could kill this Changeling. He could have actually just ran in there. That was his own Changeling. I would have liked to see Mixu at least make a little attempt of trying to enter into the main base. Didn't happen. What did happen is that we've got beautiful creep spread on the side of Mixu. That is obviously one of the downsides, I think, of going for that quick robo opening. It just gives you less comfort to move out on the map and push back the creep. Mixu is looking damn good here in game 1, if you guys ask me. 81 drones, +2 melees finishing up. We are morphing a lot of links into banelings. Arrogfire has played very patient, which I don't really mind if you think that you are like the favorite, right? And your opponent is gonna make a lot of basic units of a weak economy. But Mixu is a good macro player as well. We have to keep an eye on the minimap as there is a potential run by into the natural. Good job by Arrogfire, kind of deflecting that. Tiny stasis trap goes off as one of the Archons does die. Let's take another look at the fight on the top side of the map. It's a very random Protoss army. It's a little bit of everything, but we do have a good Nova connecting with a couple of the roaches. Lings and Banelings though are going for it, and they will surround a couple of these key units. 18 probes have gone down as a few Banelings ran into the third base. And Mixu is just finding a lot of damage. In a game where not a whole lot happened in the first 90 minutes. Or 9 minutes, other than a little bit of poking, a bit of scouting. Mixu just gets what he's looking for. This wasn't like an all-out ultra-committed attack where we brought the queens to. This is one of these. Alright, I've got a lot of links, I've got roaches, I've got ravages, I've got banelings, +2 melees kicking in. Let's see if I can get something done. And he absolutely did. Now a lot of links are going to try to run into the natural hero of Arrogfire. There is a sentry that's going to be warped in. We need that sentry like yesterday. Ooh, links are going to run in, and that means that this sentry is going to die. I guess good news for the young Frenchman is that not all the links and roaches made it in. I kind of feel that Mixu is dominating this game a little. A 21 worker advantage. All the action is taking place on the left side of the map. And Arrogfire just doesn't really have any map presence. There is no delay for this broadcast. The Big Brain Bouts, we never use any delay. Even though there is money on the line for every single best of 5, we trust these players. We know that they are fair competitors. There's a lot of probes are dying once more into the third base. A couple of probes died here in the top side as well. Mixu does need to be a tiny bit careful against these disruptors. So far he's getting away with everything he's doing. 2 more roaches do die, but with the 17 probes that he's already taken out, I want to say this is all good enough. Nice War Prism Micro. That is one thing that this young Arrogfire is incredible at. We've seen that in his PvPs. And he displays some good War Prism Micro here as well. The problem is just that he can't keep this up, guys. He's on 52 probes. Meanwhile, Mixu is on 83 drones. It's going up to 6 bases right now. This is going to be the 6th hatchery. Hive Tech is done. Adrenal glands on the way. Vipers on the production tab. I don't know if this is like Arrogfire's overall approach to PvZ, but I'd like to see him maybe be a bit more aggressive in the second game. If you're way better than your opponent, this is a perfectly fine playstyle. Where you just sit back, you wait, and you try to be ShoWTime, you try to defend. But I think Mixu and Arrogfire are very close in skill. And basically Arrogfire needs to do everything right, and Mixu just needs to find success one time. Okay, well, it seems like a lot of roaches did die there to a couple of Purification Novas. I mean, that's not going to stop Mixu from finding some more damage here on the top side of the map. Maybe that Nexus could have even gone down if all the Banelings, Roaches, and Ravages would have just gone for it. Like, Arrogfire has a decent army, but creep is everywhere. Like, if you look at the vision right now of Mixu, Mixu sees 70-80% of the map. You look at Arrogfire, and he sees basically nothing other than the 4 bases, and he's got 1 observer in the center of the map. That's it. Like, this is not a way to play StarCraft 2. The minimap is a work of art. If you're a Zerg player, you gotta get very excited over this. As a Protoss, I'm not excited. I find it disgusting. There's a couple of Banelings. They'll roll in for a split second there. Try to go for the pylon. Now just opens the floodgates for the links. These are links with +2 melee and adrenal glands. Nothing to scoff at. More links, more Banelings, Roaches and Ravagers are running on top of this Nexus as well. Arrogfire's economy is in shambles. Arrogfire is losing multiple bases and is now even losing a couple of the key Protoss units. The only thing I think that Arrogfire can do right now is just go, man. Just freaking go. And try to run straight into the natural. Expanding from here on out is pointless. Defending is pointless. Just send it. Grab everything you have. And hope that you land the best Purification Nova of your life. I wouldn't even leave units behind anymore. Just go F2A move. Is it going to work? No, probably not. But sitting at home will never get you anything because your opponent is so rich. So you need to make magic happen with this army. It's a whole lot of Archons. There is one Disruptor and needs to be the MVP Disruptor of the century. It's not going to work. Mixu just did enough in this game. He got himself super far ahead. Played well. Baning's not the best connections there, but it doesn't matter. Mixu has units for days, money for days, and Arrogfire is running on his last legs. A parasitic bomb on the War Prism is going to be good enough for Mixu to take the 1-0 lead here after a 14-minute game on Grass 1. Mixu just played damn good. Arrogfire went for the Adept, standard, Oracle standard, into the Robo. Not totally standard, which is a bit different than that Twilight Blinkstalker play that we're kind of used to seeing here. Or something else that we could do that's aggressive, whether it's Adepts with Resonating Glaive or quick DTs. Arrogfire just kind of sat back and said, I'm going to defend. Mixu, bring it on. And Mixu said, bring it on. Alright, I'll bring it on. And he brought it. And Mixu found the damage that he was looking for. Reynor vs HeroMarine is still coming up. So we always do 4 best of 5s on the Friday night. This is our co-main event of the evening. Main event is Reynor against Gabe. It was supposed to start at 9 p.m. Right now it's 15 minutes past 8, so we're kind of on schedule. That is the biggest series of the night, obviously the highest level of play, and that's why it has the most prize money, and of course we're going to save it for the end of the evening. Treat these evenings as you would treat a boxing night or an MMA night, or I don't know, Ajax playing at 1 p.m. and Feyenoord playing at 2:30, you know, saving the best for last. The Dragon SKillous is going to be the second map of our third best of 5 of the night. We have 2 best of 7s in the WTL. We have 4 best of 5s here in the Big Brain Bouts. Round 2.
Round 2. Fight!
In the first game, this man looked on point. The creep looked better than I've seen it look in a long time. Honestly, the attack was good, the multiprong was good, the transitions were nice. I think he did everything right. Representing Berserker Esports, not giving a very warm welcome to the man who just turned 16. This is our Finnish Zergi, Mixu. And in the bottom right side, not quite the birthday boy, but he was a birthday boy 2 days ago. On the 24th of May, this young man finally turned 16, which means he's old enough to play in the Big Brain Bouts and old enough to play in the ESL Masters. No longer representing this team, as they just disbanded, so I guess he's teamless, but that shouldn't take too long, because this kid is awesome, he's talented, he's passionate, it's Arrogfire. Very impressive first game by Mixu, guys. I don't want to say that I was blown away, because I know Mixu is good, I know Mixu is capable of getting wins like that, but I don't know what you guys ended up settling for when it came to the channel point prediction game, but I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, can we get the probe kill? That was close. That was close. That would have been a great moment for Mixu. Roddy, did you see one of the Slap Fight Championships events already? I am almost embarrassed to admit that I did watch a few episodes on YouTube last season of the first. I think it's incredibly stupid, but it's like one of these things where it's so stupid, yet you're watching. Because it's kind of like Selling Sunset, you know? I don't know if any of you guys watched Selling Sunset with your SO, your waifu or your boyfriend who's maybe really into it. Selling Sunset is an awful show, but once you start watching it, you kind of want to watch more. And Power Slap is the same thing for me. But I'm not excited about anything. I have nothing good about it to say. I think it's pretty stupid. I'm not a fan. But I am watching. They got me. They got what they wanted out of me. But it's not like I really keep track of it. I know they just started with season 2 and they do it on like Rumble or something. I don't even have a Rumble account. I've never visited Rumble. I just kind of watch some YouTube clips. Like, I definitely don't love it enough to hop over on Rumble and see what it's all about. The Spots vs. Nicorok was indeed a 3-1 We had Maddox with the 3-0 victory over Lino earlier tonight. And now this is our third series. And after this, we've got the Reynor against Gabe. Arrogfire will probably know where it went wrong in that previous game. It was all just a little bit too passive. He let Mixu consume the entire map. So this time around he says, I'm going to bring the fight a little bit earlier. I want to say promising start here with the adepts. Mixu's been a very greedy boy or something. Where are the links, guys? Where are the links? Mixu, what are we doing here, mate? Nice blocking, to be fair. That's very nice. He could have lost even more. We can say good crisis management here by Mixu, but losing 4 drones. Oh my god, Mixu, now you're gonna lose a creep tumor too. Arrogfire off to a flying start there in game 2, guys. Clearly playing with a little bit more kick. Bringing the fight early. Sporecrawler not done yet, so this Oracle can have a field day. Mixu is very quick with pulling the drones, so he does that great. But just by pulling all the drones, you're still taking damage. It's just indirect damage, but it's not gonna help your build order to flow very nicely. We will get at least a probe and an adept for a couple of Zerglings on the other side of the map. And we'll just take it from there. Now I am really curious to see if Arrogfire will once more drop that Robo, or if we're gonna go Twilight Council and a Forge. And this time around, we are gonna go Twilight Council Forge. So Mixu's gonna switch up the follow-up, even though the start is somewhat similar. The follow-up is very different. Needs to be careful here. We cannot get too greedy with oracles. Don't pull a Roddy, mate. Don't pull a Roddy. Takes a lot of damage, kills 2 drones. It's not fantastic. It's acceptable, but it's not fantastic. But more importantly, obviously, for the young man from France is that he keeps them alive. I do feel, though, that the way that he does things at home, like now it's Twilight Council and Forge first, but it's still a pretty damn quick Robo. It kind of feels that he's doing a few too many things at once. As he misses that drone for a brief moment. Could have killed it if he activated Pulsar Beam. I don't know. Okay, Arrogfire is actually not gonna go Blink. Gonna go for Charge and +1. Now, I want to say that's shaping up pretty good against what Mixu is doing. Because if Mixu is not gonna build Roaches anytime soon, and Mixu is investing in +1 melee, like Lings with +1 are good, but Zealots with +1 are a whole lot better. Now, obviously, if Banelings are in the mix, it could be a bit different. As once more, Queen's a bit out of position. Sporecrawler not done yet. I really like this game for Arrogfire. Especially if our man from Finland does not drop a Roach Warren or a Baneling nest right about now, then the Fong Soul Brother is gonna A-move some Zealots and this game is over. Because we do have a couple of links. Ooh, save the battery, baby! Good save by Arrogfire. 6 HP on the battery. Not quite 1, but 6. Guys, we're about to have Zealot Archon with +1, backed up by a whole bunch of Oracles, against a man who can just make Zerglings. Roddy, is Mixu in trouble? Oh, yes.
I have nothing to say. I'm so sorry, I have nothing to say.
He's gonna drop a Hydralisk then as well, but I'd be so shocked to see any of those units actually enter the battlefield before Arrogfire's first attack is already there. And Queens and Lynx. Okay, Arrogfire is dropping the Robobane now as well. Gateway count is at 8. He needs to send it. Just go. Okay, misplaced the Nexus. Maybe some of the nerves, right? Man is young. It's a beautiful moment for a couple of links. Show up, cancel, back-to-back cancel. But what I do like here by Arrogfire is that he says, alright, that's enough. I feel like I need to make something happen. And he's doing it right. He's going to see a couple of the links morphing into Banelings as a perfect force foot is going to trap a lot of these drones. It's a great attack by Arrogfire already. The only question is how much more can he get done? Baneling count 12. It's not even that great, guys. Obviously, you need to make sure that you don't lose the War Prism to the Queens. But this kid is very good with War Prisms. I'll tell you guys that much. Keep an eye on the War Prism play of this young man from France. Because in the PvPs it is spectacular. And game 1 was all Mixu. Well, guys, game 2 is all Arrogfire. Mixu was just a little bit sloppy. Arrogfire is completely safe that Archon as well. 7 kills and a dominating victory. 16 units lost, 122 units killed, and just like that, we're all tied up. We wanted to see Arrogfire be a bit more aggressive, be a bit more in the face of Mixu, not just sit back and let Mixu do his thing. Well, he embraced that. He started off adventurous with the adepts. The Oracle play was adventurous as well. And then the follow-up was not, oh, a couple Stalkers and we'll take it from there. Nope. Zealots, Archons, +1, go for it. Let's see what we can get done. And well, yeah, ties things up immediately. Yeah, it's very easy as a caster to do this hyperbole thing and get carried away with statements that are like outlandish. But Arrogfire, his War Prism play, I'm not gonna say it's the best in the world, because that's too much, but he is incredibly freaking good with microing a War Prism. And I'm not just the only one who would say that. Any of the top tier pros that have played against this kid, they'll be like, yeah, he's got like a long way to go, he's got some things to work on. But they will definitely give credit to his War Prism play because he's freaking amazing at it. I don't know how he groups it, but he must have like a relatively slow mouse and a dedicated hotkey for the Prism and then thousands of games of practice. Because he is so spot on with War Prism play. It's actually very impressive. Maple said Arrogfire was 6.5k this week. Mixu, I saw it 5.8 yesterday, but I hope we can get a close series still. Well, the thing is that you can get very high MMR on the European server by just being freaking good at PvP, right? And if there is one thing we know that Arrogfire is good at, it's 3-gate roboing a whole bunch of nerds. So, I'm not surprised that MMR-wise, he can have a big advantage over Mixu. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's way better in every element of StarCraft 2. Because Mixu, I think his EVP is good. But obviously Arrogfire's 3-gate robo is fantastic in PvP. And the European ladder, especially above 6k, is just flooded with Protoss players.
Round 3.
Fight!
In the top left side, we are looking at the main base of a man who had a very sweet first game where he consumed the entire map in creep and got the job done. Game 2 was just a bit sloppy, was out of position, and he got bobbed by a couple of Zealots and Archons. This is our Finnish Zerg, Mixu, as we load into Game 3 on Babylon. In the bottom right side of Babylon, we are looking at the main base of the man who is one of the best War Prism players on this planet. And I'm not talking about drive-bys into the main, warp-ins behind enemy lines. No, I'm just talking about picking up Colossus, Immortals, Archons. Kid is amazing at it. 16 years of age. This is Arrogfire. How's the Roddy losing weight challenge going on? Well, Cuckoo, I'd like to let you know that yesterday, no, 2 days ago, I had 18,000 steps. Now, I don't want to say that's an all-time record, but that's very good for me. 18,000 steppies. Now, yesterday I had like 500, so that was not very good. But 2 days ago, we had a great day. Yeah, at the park and then some late-night adventures. 18k is an average day at work? Sure, mate. This is always where all the marathon runners come out and be like, I woke up this morning and I ran 15 miles. I actually averaged like 11 miles an hour. It's pretty good, man. I'm pretty proud of myself. Like, alright, sure. And I actually did it with a couple kilograms of, I don't know, sugar in my backpack too. It was pretty sick, man. And 2 liters of water. It's like I just kept on running. I'm the best. It's like, alright. I think it's about time for a Cody x Roddy MMA fight to get in shape. Why do you want to hurt me, Cody? What have I ever done to you? If you put me in a ring with you, I will just hug you, mate. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Once more, it is Adepts into Stargate. This is obviously very standard in PvZ. I would obviously love to see Arrogfire at least sprinkle in one Twilight build to keep Mixu a bit honest and force him to scout, but if he's just very confident in his Oracle play, then we'll let him do this, as he does snipe another crit tumor. Mixu knows that in the last game he was a bit too greedy, and he paid a pretty hefty price for it, as the first 2 Adepts just got too much damage done. Here in Game 3, I think Mixu's start is a lot better. Losing a few links, very acceptable. You don't want to lose too much mining time. Will not lose a drone, gets both Adepts. Hey, very good. Mixu learning from his mistakes on Dragon skills. Takes it a bit more serious, has a few more links. Excellent defense. What's your weight class, Cody? How heavy or how light you are? Because I don't think we are in the same category, mate. You'll be fighting Sean O'Malley and I'd be fighting John Jones. You and I are not the same. It's not a fair fight. Walking around all day at a music festival, netted my body and I around 11k steps. So 18k sounds exhausting. 18k is doable if you're just active throughout the day, but very active, obviously. I think if you are really pushing it, if you ever go to a theme park and you're up and running from the very beginning till the very end of the day, I think you can reach like 30,000. But then you're basically on the move all day, every day. Yeah, 88 kilogram specimen, come and get it. And we're almost in the same weight category, but not quite. How many pounds is 88 kilograms? Around like 205 or something. I think, right? Is it Mixu the Observer? No. The Observer that you're thinking of is Mapu. Mapu is a German Observer. Mixu is a Finnish Zerg player. They are not the same. Two adepts running into the natural, looking for some drone damage. A couple of drones misrallied, but Arrogfire was not paying attention because he was paying attention to his oracles. Don't think he got too much done. I gotta say, the defense of Mixu feels a little chaotic, but it's not bad. Like, it's all over the shop, but it ain't bad. Like, it's kind of getting the job done. I think he's done a good job in minimalizing the drone losses. 6 drones in a 6-minute game, but 4 adepts have died. It's totally acceptable. If you look at the worker graph, you can definitely see that Mixu pulled drones somewhat frequently, and that's why all these little dips occur. $28k, I think it's your record. I think a long time ago, when I went to Six Flags Magic Mountain in California, I think I had 23 or 24k once. I was ready to beat that when I went to Disneyland once with my girlfriend, but then we left after 2 hours because she got sad. So that didn't work, but in Magic Mountain I got like 24, 25k. I think that's the most I ever did. I'm not a very active human. I did love that theme park though. It's actually a really good one. If you love roller coasters and you're ever in LA or that area, you gotta check it out. Disneyland in Anaheim, but I think the one in Anaheim sucks anyway. That one is overrated. The one in Paris is generally better than the one in Anaheim. There's more to do in Six Flags anyway. Well, I think it depends a little bit what you're looking for. If you're just looking for like a fun getaway and you care about the atmosphere and the vibe, then I think Disneyland can be very cute. But I would not go to the one in Anaheim. I think that one is a bit of a scam. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, One White Rabbit. I love that one. It's great. Everything about it is great, and that's what Arrogfire is also thinking about his attack here, but the stasis trap already got activated. Mixu, his links get a little wraparound, and the oracles are going to be forced to use Bullseye Beam. I want to say pretty good fight here for Mixu, guys, because Zerglings are cheap. Okay, you don't want to lose the queens though, Mixu, mate. Pure pain here for these queens to be off creep for a split second, as now Mixu runs even more links into the next stasis. It was still overall pretty acceptable. But yeah, losing the queens the way he did was a shame. But overall, nice battle from both sides. Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. Okay, that one is good. X2 is the first roller coaster ride in Magic Mountain. The one that you basically pass immediately as soon as you enter the park. That one is amazing. It is one of the probably coolest rides that I've ever been on. 10/10, would recommend any day of the week. We have a couple of slow banelings trying to run into the third base, and there is a wall off here, guys, so the probies are stuck. Mixu showing the links and banes on the left. Here are the banelings, minus 16 probes. That is going to hurt, my friend. Only 13, that's underwhelming. Thought Mixu would get a few more there, guys. He messed up. Still an excellent run by though. Mixu once more showing us that he is very competitive at the bare minimum in this best of 5. Safe to say that he wants more than competitive. Now, Arrogfire is a 4-base Protoss. We've got all the gases. He's working on +2. It is a single robo for now. If I was him, by the way, I would always get a shield battery and another pylon here. I'd be so paranoid about Lings and Banes running into my main and natural. Mixu is going to try to send it here with Hydra Link Bane. That Colossus has a lot of potential against this Zerg army. And Nova has decent potential as well. Good micro there, I think, on both sides. In the end, Mixu was forced to lose a couple of Banings as he does get the Artals all by themselves. Oh no, no Overseer! I don't see an Overseer, guys, and there are DTs in the mix. One DT is just swiping away at these Hydras. I mean, Mix is still finding a lot of damage, but I would not recommend staying around too long without an Overseer. I'm gonna say the supply is heavily in favor of Mixu. Doesn't quite feel all that fantastic for him to me. I know that Johan Mello, Litud, always tells us that the supply does not lie, but I think it's lying a little bit in this game. Mixu, the lair attack Zerg, I still think needs a whole lot more. Put more of a couple of links into Banings here, then roll into the natural. Arrogfire's got no vision of this area of the map at all. And that's why I really think he needs another pylon and a battery here, but... Wow, Serral in the chat, guys, enjoying some Friday night video gaming. Serral saying that Mixu is a monster. I'm still a little bit worried for him in this game, Yona. I'm not convinced yet that it's all been good enough. Good reaction here by Arrogfire. Mixu's gonna try his luck again as a couple of drones are dying. I guess to 1 DT. It is indeed 1 DT getting 5 drones. Mixu with some speed banes. Gonna try to roll into this base at the bottom side of the map. Not a whole lot to kill, but a couple of gateways, couple of probes. You may as well. The hive is obviously like not quite as quick as you would ideally love it to see. Mixu's got a great economy. But I've seen plenty of Zergs die of lair attack against Colossus, Stalker, Archon armies. Good news for Mixu is that obviously Arrogfire is only on single robo. So he doesn't quite have to worry about like 5 disruptors all of a sudden. It is looking promising for Mixu, but he's really not there yet, guys. One terrible fight is all it takes for this game to be upside down, as Mixu could potentially go for a Colossus here, but he's not going to get that. Army is nearby. Now Mixu is going to try to send it on the bottom side of the map as well. More Hydras, Links, Banelings. Good job there, activating that stasis trap early. Baneling count is bloody high. We're looking at 39 Banelings. Mixu's also trying to break into the natural. Will finally be able to break into the natural. Yep, Super Saiyan Zealot does not last forever. This is gonna hurt, obviously. The only question is... Ooh, I love that, actually, using the Banelings on the Zealots there, so the Lynx can still do its thing. Arrogfire not able to warp in any extra units. I think that was a great call there by Mixu to use those Banes on the Zealots there. Now, in the end, Oracles do turn around. Arrogfire is still doing a good job in keeping up in the probe department. Kind of feels like he's been on the wrong end of taking economic damage for quite some time now. And then every time you look, it's still 55, 60 workers. Has probably lost like 30 something probes in this game, 48 even. Obviously Mixu now his hive is done. Hydra's morphing into lurkers. Vipers on the way too. Another run by. Floodgates are open. Yeah, that single little... This is like putting duct tape on a dam that's being broken. That's not gonna save it. There's a few more Banelings. Will roll into a mineral line once more. A couple of probes have died in the natural. Mixu now, it does really feel like we are reaching the tipping point where the Zerg is breaking the Protoss. And Arrogfire doesn't quite know where he wants to run. And of course the Lurker army is a lot more intimidating than Hydra Link Bane. Hello Hydra. Arrogfire still has 90 army supply and +3, does not have Storm. Mixu again doing a pretty good job with the creep, by the way, guys, all the way in the top right side, in the center. Does it just have like one way that he's working on creep? It's kind of spreading in all angles. He's going up to 20 lurkers. Are you joking? Guys, we have 20 freaking lurkers on the map. This is for all the kids out there who say that lurkers are not good against ground tools. Are you guys ready? As we have another Link run by as well. It's going to pull a couple of units out of position. 20 lurkers, guys. For all the Zergs out there that dream the impossible. I wouldn't hate a blinding cloud or two. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Arrogfire doesn't even want to be a part of this lurker demonstration. And he is just done. 20 freaking lurkers. Yeah. Lambo, are you watching? Lambo would have not enjoyed that. That was a great game by Mixu once more. I can really see the difference between cleaning up the early game compared to game 2, where this time around Arrogfire was not able to find the same damage with his adepts, with the oracles, and Mixu he played well. I think it was still close and competitive for quite some time, because Hydra, Ling, Bane doesn't necessarily get the job done. But obviously the Hive was still pretty well timed, and with the Vipers, with the Lurker transition, the icing on the cake. Mixu taking a perhaps somewhat surprising 2-1 lead here, as game 4 is going to be played on Neo Humanity. Yeah, alright guys. I don't even know what to do with that, mate. Shoot. Okay, this guy's weird. We're gonna let him go. He's been weird for a very long time. So no need to keep that one around. You look extra sexy today. Did your team win or something? The team did win. Team has been undefeated and stays undefeated. But we're not there yet. It's just regular season. I will definitely sneak in a little marathon as soon as the broadcast is over. But this is our third best of 5 of the night. After this, we've got one more very exciting one. But for now, let's go ahead and hop into game 4 of our co-main event of the evening.
Round 4.
Fight!
In the top left side of Neo Humanity, we are looking in the main base of the Finnish Zerg, looking great in game 1 and game 3. Representing Berserker Esports, this is Mixu. Can't wait for the Basilisk YouTube video. Well, I've recorded it. But you know it's also live on my channel, right? I don't record it in private or something. I like it when you guys join when I'm doing the live broadcast. That's kind of why I started doing this in the first place. In the bottom right side of Neo Humanity, we are looking at the main base of the young Frenchman who is currently teamless after Alpha X disbanded a couple of days ago. This is Arrogfire. Okay, you watched it live and watching the YouTube video. Let's go. What a champ. Mixu forced, perhaps, to take the third instead of the natural. Can be a bit annoying in Neo Humanity. Not every Zerg is very fond of that. Absolutely, soon. We had another long week. And this obviously has been a long day. We've been live for 7 hours and 18 minutes. But it's been good. I cannot complain. I am very happy with how all of this has gone. I'm definitely enjoying this best of 5 between these two. I figured it was going to be close. I figured it was going to be competitive. I'm still surprised by how well Mixu is playing. But I think we're going to get a game 5 here. Kind of feel that Arrogfire is bringing it back. Shouldn't Serral be a VIP or something? No, I think to be a VIP in my channel, you really need to win something. I don't think Serral has quite won the right tournaments to deserve that VIP badge. You know, I'll give him another year, maybe find some more success throughout his career, and then I'll see again if he's worthy or not. With those empty resumes, you're not getting a VIP badge over here. We gotta keep him hungry, guys. You can't give the man everything already. Keep him hungry. Make him work for it. Exactly. I only have like 100 VIP badges to give away. Well, not yet. We'll see. I'll keep my eye on him, though. I've heard great things about this Serral guy. I do believe he's doing good things for Basilisk in the WTL Codas. I think he recently had an alrighty performance in the ESL Masters. So he's on my radar, but we're not there yet. As the first adept of Arrogfire gets a drone. That's obviously solid. And he's keeping them healthy. Even more important. This is where it's obviously going to be uncomfortable for Mixu to defend the main and the third at the same time. Does he have any... He had very few links in the main, actually. I think if Arrogfire would have let the Shade finish up, he would have had a great time. But I think what happened is that Mixu put his links right on top of those adepts. And then Arrogfire was like, oh yeah, I shouldn't do that. I see links already waiting for me. I almost felt that Mixu was bluffing there and he got away with it. I think for Jumika's got his throwing skills from Roddy. I hope Jumi is alright. Jumi seemed a little bit sad after he lost in the Big Brain Bouts last week and obviously ESL Masters. As Arrogfire is gonna go for some drone damage here and is already finding more damage than he did on Babylon. 6 drones, jeez Louise. 7, make it 8. Oh. I do feel that when it comes to Mixu, his early game in ZVP, it really is hell or glory. Like that Fallout Boy song, as he does snipe the Oracle there, by the way, which perhaps just backs up the statement. And he does have this base in the center of the map that is kind of like the high risk, high reward kind of base, where if you can get it up and running and you take that rich Vespian geyser, it's gonna help you. But yeah, I was a big fan of Fallout Boy many years ago, and I have that one song where it's like hell or glory, I don't want anything in between. And that's kind of what it feels like when Mix is playing ZVP. The defense is perfect or he's falling apart. I was happy forgetting about Fallout Boy. Fallout Boy is pretty cool, man. I wouldn't hate on them. Fallout Boy, Panic at the Disco, and Rise Against. All pretty solid. A little bit of My Chemical Romance. And then the guys from Shut Up and Dance With Me, those are good too. And Mariana Strange, those are also good. No need to hate. Rise Against? Yeah, they're awesome. I'm saying that they're good, Smooch. You know what was also kind of catchy for a little bit? Metro Station. I like those guys as well. It's not too bad. Obviously, Arrogfire is very happy with how this game has gone. As the Queens move out of position, we have no Spore Crawler here in this center base. And Arrogfire just continues to find damage. Sure, I lost 1 Oracle, but killing 14 drones in a 6-minute game. Yeah, we'll take that any day of the week as a Protoss. Overlord morphing into an Overseer. Mix is going to use that as a bit of a scout. I assume so, at least. I don't know what else he would do with it. Maybe put it on surveillance mode and be a proper pervert into the nature of the Protoss. Third Oracle is gonna sync up, so in total, Arrogfire made 4 Oracles this game. As he did kind of go back to that quick Robo later Twilight Council that we saw in that first game, didn't quite work out. He says, if you take the center base, I'll take the second center base. It's a pretty wide open area. It can be kind of hard to defend both the bottom and the top at the same time, but obviously with a start like this, I do feel that Arrogfire is able to get away with a lot of things. Will Mixu go Swarm Host? The answer to that question, guys, is yes. As the moment that Infestation Pit finished up, he fired up 5 Swarm Hosts. So Roach, Ravager, Queen, Swarm Host. I like the Dark Shrine against this, by the way. This is very good. Well, Mixu clearly did not have the start that he was looking for. But one excellent wave of Locust. And we could be looking at a completely different game here. At the moment, I think we all like it for Arrogfire. Arrogfire has done a lot of things right. But he does need to be careful as he drops a Revelation. And he kind of missed. He got the rocks. I mean, Executor 08 told you guys a couple days ago. I've told you guys for many years. And so did Jeff back in the days. Protoss players do not get enough love for nailing those Revelations. We always talk about great kiting, great splits. Nobody ever says nice Revelation, but You guys think it's easy to just nil those revelations over and over and over again on the Zerg or Terran army? That ain't easy. That is a skill shot that requires years of practice. Those players deserve more love. Because it's massive. No need to bring my you-know-what into this conversation, mate. It has nothing to do with revelation. We have a bunch of locusts flying into the third base here of Arrogfire. There's an Arco and a couple of Stalkers. I don't really feel this defense. The locusts have crazy DPS, mate. Not the prettiest defense for Arrogfire, but I guess he keeps the probes alive. Economically, he's doing fantastic. With a Nidus as well. We have to keep an eye on this Overseer. Pulsar Beam being used, but Pulsar Beam not necessarily the greatest tool to hunt down these Swarmos. I'd love to see some DT play right now. Oh my goodness, imagine if you timed this properly with a couple of Novas. This is going to be very exciting, but I do need to keep an eye on that Nidus network. But the mummy of all stasis traps have gone up in the center of the map. And at this point, Arrogfire doesn't even care about the Nidus. He wants to send the Novas. He's not sending them though. Why did you not send them? It's the Nidus that scared him and he kind of missed. Ay, ay, ay. All that hype, all that build-up, all the anticipation for nothing. Don't worry, guys. Stormgate will deliver. Just because the Nova didn't deliver, Stormgate will deliver. Don't you? We have a couple of Roaches now running into Archons, Immortals, and a Shield Battery Overcharge. Questionable fight for Roaches. Mixu is splitting off 4 Roaches into this triangle base. It's getting chaotic, but obviously Mixu is not able to just transition out of this. And I don't think he's quite finding the damage that he's looking for. He needs a whole lot more than he's currently getting. I think Arrogfire has done a perfectly fine job. Like, this defense wasn't the prettiest, but still acceptable. And he's doing a good job in keeping key units alive right when we say that he's been doing a perfectly fine job. He commands his army and misses a Nova. No, Arrogfire, chill, mate. No. Okay, we should have Coco's second overcharge available, though, just in case things get very dire over here. I'd love to see a War Prism in the midst of all of this. Like, one Prism in the main with a couple of Zealots, DTs. You've got charge, you've got +2, mate. You don't want to just defend forever against Roaches and Swarm hosts. And then I think it's inevitable that you will mess up eventually against the 3 units. You need to make sure there is some map presence and that there is something happening on the other side of the map as well. And the Hive is definitely late. Like, we have a good force group going down there. 4 or 5 Roaches will fall. Like, Arrogfire's army right now is good enough to make some freaking magic happen. And I want to see if he can make some magic happen. He's going to defend against this wave of the Locusts with Stalkers and Oracles. A few Roaches of Mixu running into the triangle base. A lot of other units are in the center. I have no idea what these units are doing by themselves. I'm just going to pretend that they were never there. Like, Arrogfire is a little bit nervous or something. Obviously, it's not every single day that you play a best of 5 with $100 on the line. Arrogfire does play in the European Pro Tour weekly quite often, but yeah, to make $100 you need to make it into the final. And that has not ever happened before. I guess it is kind of a big series for him as he does move the Archons forward, gets a couple of nice hits off on the Roaches. Supply is plummeting a little bit though for Arrogfire as the Nidus has gone up into the natural. The Nexus will die. 9 Lurkers are morphing. Roaches want to snipe a couple of these key units and Nova flies forward. I want to say good pullback there by Mixu. Arrogfire, what are we doing, mate? He's lost everything in his natural. Kind of losing Archons one by one. The Roach Micro is excellent. There's now the Lurkers show up on the right side just when I said the Roach Micro is excellent. Arrogfire lands a big Nova. Needs to land a couple of Novas on these Lurkers though. The Lurkers do not have any of their Hive Tech upgrades yet. So they're kind of the lame Lurkers as a Nova connects and a couple of these Swarmos. I mean, this is just super chaotic, hectic StarCraft where Mixu may have a supply lead, but Arrogfire's got money for days. After he lost the natural, the slow Lurkers are trying to get in range. No, no, please, you have no observer. No, 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 no. Arrogfire, not like this when he has a revelation that shows up. But sweet baby Jesus, did he take a lot of damage there. Oh, at least there are still a couple of Immortals in the mix. And now he's trying to retreat off creep, running straight through 5 or 6 Lurkers. The revelation was a bit late. The Queens, that Nidus, the Natural, have now made it into the center of the map. At least a couple of stalkers have made it over here as well. But more lurkers are burrowing. Adaptive Talents is close to finishing up. Arrogfire still has money for days, but it seems that he just can't spend it. GG gets called, and Mixu will still win Game 4 on Neo Humanity, and Mixu wins the best of 5. Cole, main event of the evening. He walks away with $100. Arrogfire still gets $25 for playing. Were the gates unpowered or something, or did he just like lose a bunch of gateways? Yeah, I mean, he didn't have blink yet on the stalker, so this is a very awkward army. And wiping in zealots is not going to save you against lurkers. Oh, this was painful. This retreat right here, guys. Because I actually think that at this point, the supply is very deceiving. Lurkers don't have hive-tech upgrades yet. A lot of the swarmers not really doing a whole lot. And Arrogfire's got a big old bank, right? 2k minerals, 400 gas is decent as well. Running through these lurkers was pure pain. That was a good Nova. Takes out the base. I think he thought it was only 3, right? Because he saw the 3 lurkers. I felt that the revelation was a bit late. It's 110 against 75, but obviously a lot of it is in production. 26 supply in production. Oh, because revelation was late. Stalkers just die, man. Stalkers just get freaking wrecked. GG. Very solid performance by Mixu. A great showing for him. Yeah, and that it does feel that there really should have been some war prism play into the main base, or just put a prism in the top right side and then run bys into the natural, into the third. But especially with quick charge, quick +2, dark shrine. Like if you're Mixu and you're playing Roach, Nida, Swarmers, you want to be in the face of the Protoss all the time, and you definitely don't want to spend some of your very costly army supply to chase zealots and chase DTs around. GG's though, fun series, very good showing by Mixu, and I hope that Arrogfire still enjoyed it. I'm sure we'll see a lot more from Arrogfire in the near future, now that he's finally a 16-year-old man. GG's to the Basilisk Research Group for gifting us 10 more subbies. We're casting our heart out once more. We are trying. Basilisk too good for Roddy, guys. What would I do without him? Choose outcome. Hey, upset alert apparently. As only 38% of you guys out there believed in Mixu. We've got one more best of 5 though, so now you guys can bet the house. Mixu is the winner. GG. Final best of 5 of the night. Big Brain Bouts main event. Number 28. It is Reynor versus HeroMarine. In Reynor, HeroMarine. We're gonna do best of 5 BBB number 28. A main event. Oh. Yeah. It's obviously $200 guys for the entire series. $150 for the winner of this best of 5. And $50 for the loser of the best of 5. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys 15 minutes. 2 of Europe's best, without a shadow of a doubt. Everybody would always agree that Reynor is one of Europe's best and HeroMarine is one of Europe's best. But yeah, 2 players that just kind of had a tough time over the last few weeks. Things not quite working out that I think the way they would have liked to. The results not quite there. So obviously a big moment for them. I'm excited. We'll talk more about it. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple minutes. Is Reynor playing Zerg? Yes, I definitely think Reynor is playing Zerg. We'll talk more about it in a couple minutes. After that, we'll be back with HeroMarine against Reynor. Should be really awesome. See you guys soon. Let's go.